Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Faizan Khan, and in this video we will see how we can build this VS Code editor. Basically this is a Python editor that I have created, and we will see how it works, what is the functionality of this editor, what things we can do here. Okay, it is quite similar to the editors that you use to write your Python code, whether it is your IDLE, which comes by default with the Python interpreter, or whether it's PyCharm or VS Code or Sublime Text or Atom or anything, right? Where you write your code. So this is that editor where you can write your code and run your code at the same place. So let's see how it works. So suppose this is the editor area where we will be writing our code, and this is the output area where you will see the output of that particular code. So suppose if I print something just like we do in Python. So if I print hello, so if I directly try to click on this run button, it will show us a message box that we need to save the file, right? So firstly, we will be saving this file with the .py format. So let's save it. So for saving this file, we will go to this file section, and here you can see all these options, right? Save as. So first time we'll save, so we can either press Control S, which is the shortcut key, or we can click on this save. So once you click on it, a file dialog box has appeared, and here you can give the name of your Python file. So suppose if I go with test.py, either you can write the extension or you can ignore the extension. Test would also be fine. So once you click on the save button, the file is saved. Now once you click on this run button, you can see we are getting the output here, right? Okay, so in the similar way, instead of printing something, we can also use a loop here, like if I use while n is less than 6, and then we have to provide indentation, right? And here what we can do, we can print the value of n, and here we can take some counter variable, or we can simply increase the value of n by 1, like this. So let's see what we get as a output, and initially we also have to set the value of any variable to 0. Condition will be true, so this print n will work and its value will be incremented, and then again n value will be checked, again print will take place, and again the n value will be incremented, and so on until this condition becomes false. We will be out of the loop. So if I run this file, so firstly we will have to save it, right? So file, save, and then we can run this. So once you run this, you can see the output 0 1 2 3 4, right, till 5. So this is the output that we are getting. So this way you can write your code here and you can run your code here on this editor. In the same way, just like we have created GUI for other projects, here also we can create GUI. So for creating GUI, we generally import tkinter, because this is one of the module which is used to create GUI applications. So from tkinter, I'm going to import asterisk. So this asterisk simply means that we are importing all the classes and the methods that are present inside this tkinter module, right? So now to create a GUI, means a window, we just have to create the object of tk class. So what we'll do, we'll use this tk class and we'll create the object of it. And generally I give object variable name as root. You can give any variable name, it's up to you. And at the end, I'm simply going to keep this window on a loop so that we can see this window continuously. So these two lines are very important to create a window. So once I run this code, firstly I'll have to save this, then once I run this, you can see we are getting a window, right? So this is the by default width and the height of our window, and this is by default the title, right? So we can change all these things here. Like I can show you root dot geometry. This is one of the method that we'll discuss just now when we'll write the actual code. So here we can mention some width and the height, like for example 500 is the width and then 700 is the height, like that. And similarly we can also change the title, root dot title. This is another method of this tk class. So here we can set the title as Python editor. Again we need to save this firstly and then we can run it. So you can see the width and the height of this window is changed, and here the title is also changed. So this is how this we can write any Python code on this editor and it will work for you. What else we can do here? We can also increase the font size of this text, or we can decrease the font size. So what is how we can do it? So you just have to press Ctrl and P to increase the font size, and to decrease it you have to press Ctrl M. This is the functionality that I have added, and we'll discuss how we can do it when we'll write the actual code. Then after that we have option like we can create a new file. Means if you want to create a new file, you can simply click on it and your new file will be ready. Now you can write another code, right? What else? You can open an existing file. So see, as I have all these files, I can open any existing file. Let me open this one. So you can see here I have printed hello world, right? What else you can do? You can also save as. Means if you want to save this file with some other name, you can do that. And then we have this exit. So once you click on it, it will show you this dialog box, right? Do you want to exit? If you say no, nothing will happen, but if you will click on yes, this window will be closed. Okay, then we have this theme section. Here you can choose the theme. I have just provided two themes, but once you'll write the code, you can add many themes of your choice. So this is the light theme that I am using currently. I can also switch to dark theme. So this is very simple. You just have to click on that, and if you want light theme back, then click on light theme, like this. Okay, so let's work on dark theme for now. And then we have this clear button, which will simply clear the code. So if I click on it, the code is cleared, right? Like that. And also if you'll make any mistake in the code, then surely that will give you an error, right? So here also you will get that particular error. For example, if uh, I write some code like print, instead of print, let me just add prints, which is not correct uh, keyword or function, right? So here let me just try to print hello. Firstly I'll save this file and then I'll run it. So once I'll run it, you can see we are getting the error that name prints is not defined. So as you know, prints is nothing, right? So we have to do the change here, which is print. Again save the file and run the code, right? So this time we are getting the correct output without any errors. So this is how this application works. This is the functionality which I have added to it. And now let's see how we can build this step by step from scratch. So first of all, you need two things on your system. First is the Python interpreter, which will convert your code into machine understandable code. So it's very easy. Just go to your favorite web browser. I'm using Google Chrome. Here you just need to type Python download. Once you type that, you have to visit this first website, python.org, and here from here you can download this latest version 3.10.1. Okay, this is the Python interpreter. And make sure once you try to install the installer, you will see a GUI window. There you need to tick add to path option at the bottom. And after this, the other thing that you need to download on your system is PyCharm. or any other IDE of your choice. Since I'm using PyCharm, so I'll recommend you to also download PyCharm. It's a very good IDE which provides lot of features. So just visit this jetbrains.com website, and here you need to download this community version. So just simply click on this download button. Once it is downloaded, just open the installer and you just have to do next, 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 and it will be installed successfully. So if you are new and if you face any problem in installing Python or PyCharm, just watch the videos which are given in the description of this video, where I have explained how you can download Python and PyCharm on your system. Okay. So now once you install PyCharm, what you have to do, you just have to go to the file, select new project. Here you just need to give a project folder name. It can be anything, like it can be Python editor or any folder name of your choice. After that, make sure you select virtual environment here, and then whatever Python interpreter that you want to select, you can select from here. Since I have three Python interpreters, 3.9, 3.7 and 3.6, so I can use any of them. It's up to me. Okay, so I'll select 3.7 only, and then I'll simply click on this create button. And now here, from here, I want this project to open on a new window, so I'll select new window. So a virtual environment is getting created. Okay, so once your virtual environment is created, what you can do, you just have to create a Python file here. So just right click on this folder, Python editor. Here go to new and select Python file. Just give a name of your Python file. I'll go with main and hit enter. So this is a Python file, and in this Python file I will be writing that particular code for creating that Python editor. Okay, so as you must have seen in the original project that there is a GUI, right? So we need to create that GUI. Let me just run this original code again. So you can see this is the GUI, right? So we'll create this. We'll see how we can create this window, and then we'll see how we can add this title. We'll see how we can add these menus. Okay, and then we will see how we can add all these commands, then this output, all these things we'll see. And also, if you notice, we have this scroll bar, right, in the text editor and also on the output area. So we'll see how we can add this scroll bar to our window. So let's see. So coming back to the code, so for creating GUI part in Python, we generally use tkinter. uh, Actually, I use generally tkinter because it's a very easy module to use. It's also cross-platform. You can use it on Linux, Mac OS, or uh, this Windows. You can use anywhere. The same code will run on three other operating systems as well. So let's see. So firstly, we need to import this module so that we can use all the classes and the methods which are present inside it. So the way of importing is from tkinter import asterisk. So this line means that we are importing all the classes and the methods which are present inside this tkinter module. Okay. After that, we have to create our window first of all. So for creating our window, as I already told you, that we need to create object of tk class, and that tk class is present inside this module. It's basically a file inside which we have classes and methods. So let's use that class to create our window. So the class name is tk. So once you use this class, you just have to create object of this class. So object name, I'll use root. So this is how you create object of any class. You assign a class to a variable. This is how you do it, and this will help you to create your window. But if I run this code at this stage only, right click and run main, you won't be able to see that window, and you can see our code is finished with exit code 0 means there is no issue with the code, everything is working fine, and our program ended. So basically what happened that this particular line of code executed very fast that we were not able to see that particular window. Okay, so in order to see that window we need to keep that window on hold so that we can see it continuously. Okay, so to do that we have one method inside this tk class. So this tk is a class inside which we have lots of variables and functions which we call methods. So I'm going to use one of the method of this class. So that method I can use with the help of this object variable root. So I'm using this object variable root here, root dot main loop. So this is the method which keeps our window on a loop so that we can see it continuously. Now if I run this code again, you can see we are getting a window now, right? And you can see it continuously. Okay, what next? We will have to provide some width and the height to this window, so let's do it. So again I'm going to use one of the method which will help us to add width and the height to our window. So that method is known as geometry. So I'll use the object variable again, dot geometry method, and here in the form of a string we have to pass the width and the height. So the width that I have used in my original project is 1270, and the height that I have used is 670. Okay, and then where I want to place my window means this is the screen, right? So on this screen where I want to place my window, from x-axis at what distance and from y-axis at what distance. So this distance we are going to mention. So here I'm just simply going to place my window at a distance of 0 from the x-axis, and similarly at a distance of 0 from y-axis, like this. So your window would be appearing at this position. Okay, so now if I run this code, you can see this is the x and the y values that I have just now provided. So that's why our window is appearing from this position. If I would have provided some other value like 100 distance from the x-axis and 20 distance from the y-axis, you'll see the difference. You can see now it is at 100 distance from the x-axis and 20 distance from the y-axis. Okay, I hope you understood this. So I'll change it back to 0. After that, next thing is that we need to set the title of our window. So again we need to use the method which is title. This is also present inside this tk class, so I'm using that method. And here again we need to pass the title in the form of a string. So the title would be Python editor created by Faizan Khan, or any other title whichever you want to give. Now if I run this code, you can see this is the title. Okay, so after creating the title, next thing is that we need to create our menu bar. Okay, and on that we'll be adding menus. So the way of creating a menu bar is firstly and make sure that you write everything between these two lines only. Root equals to tk and root dot main loop, because if you'll write anything just after this main loop line, that line won't be executed. For example, if I try to print something, if I print my name, okay, if I run this code, see we are getting a window, right? But if I minimize this window, you can see this print statement is not getting executed. Okay, what is happening? Because this main loop method is keeping this window on a loop. So whatever code is between these two lines, that particular code is getting executed again and again. So it is not moving to line number 9. Once you close that window, then line number 9 would be printed. So if I close this window, so now we are not in a loop. So now you can see Faizan is printed. So this is how it works. So as I was telling that we have to create a menu, right? Yeah, so in order to create menus, firstly we will have to create object of the menu class. So I'll use this menu class and we'll create object of it. So I'll give the object variable name as uh, my menu, like this. And then we have to configure this my menu on our root window. So I'll use root dot config method, and here menu will be my menu, which we just defined, right? This is the my menu. So I'm just adding this my menu on our root window. Okay, so after adding this my menu on our root window, next is that which menus you want on this my menu. So first menu would be file. Let me just show you in my original project. So if I run this code, as you can see, first menu is file menu, and all these are the commands. These are known as commands. Then there is this themes, clear, and run. So there are basically four menus, right, on this menu bar. So let's see. So with the help of this much code only, we just have created a menu bar. But if I run this code, you won't be able to see that. Okay, once you start adding things on it, means the menus, then you will be able to see it. Okay, so first thing is that we have to add a file menu. So file menu, uh, it will be created again in the similar way, just like we created a menu. So again we will be using menu class, and here we have to mention that this menu would be on my menu, right? So I'll pass my menu here. Okay, because this file menu has to be on the menu bar only, right? So that is why I'm passing my menu here. Next thing is tier of equals to false. I'll tell you what it is a bit later. Okay, once you do this, after that you have to add cascade. So I'll simply, in order to show this file menu on the screen, we just have to provide label to it, right? Like file. Okay, so in order to do that, we have to use this my menu object dot add cascade method, and here we need to pass the label, what text you want to see there. So it would be file. Okay, and what is this menu? Okay, this menu is file menu, right? So now if I run this, you can see we are getting this file menu on a menu bar, right? Now once I'm clicking on this, we are not able to see the commands. So in order to add commands, what we have to do, we have to uh, use this object variable file menu dot add command, and here we need to pass again the label. So first command is new file. Okay, now if I run this, you can see we are getting this new file, right? And in the same way, next we can add. So what is the shortcut key to copy the same line again? We just have to press Ctrl D in PyCharm, right, like this. So after new file, we have to add open file label, open file command, right? Then save. After that, save as, right? Then it would be exit. So I'll copy this line once more, and this one would be exit, like this. Okay, let me just run this code again. So you can see we are getting all these commands, but right now when I'm clicking on any of these commands, nothing is happening because I have not added any functionality to these commands that we will be adding later on. Firstly, we will create the GUI part. Okay, so I was telling about this tier off, right? I said that I'll be explaining it later on. So if I remove it, what change you will see? Let me run this code again. So if I click on it, you can see this line, right? This is nothing but tier off. So if I click on it, you can see this is detached now, means you can move this anywhere, right? So I don't want to detach it, right? I want to attach it to files only. So in order to do that, I just have to use that tier of, and I have to pass false value to it. So now you won't be able to see that line to detach that file menu. Okay, so this was the reason. Another thing is that I wanted to add shortcut keys also. Just after this new file, I want to add control plus some shortcut key like control plus N. Okay, for open file we can add control plus O and so on. So in order to add text after this, one way is that you can give space, and here you can add control N, right? Control N, this way. Other way, the most effective way or the better way is to use another keyword argument, which is accelerator. Accelerator, make sure you write the correct spelling, and here you just have to write control uh, N plus N, which is the shortcut key, right? So if I run this, you can see new file control N, right? In the same way we can add open file, shortcut key for the open file. So let me just copy this thing from here and paste it here. Similarly here, sorry, not here, yeah. So after, for open file I'll use control plus O as the shortcut key. Then for save, I'll use control S. Then for save as I'll use control A, and then for exit I'll use control Q. Okay, so this I'll use to exit. Okay, so I think our file menu is ready, right? I've added all the shortcut keys, but right now you will click on means you will press the shortcut key, but it won't work, okay, because we have not added the functionality. Next, after this we have the theme menu. So let's create that theme menu. Okay, so all the menus would be created in the similar way. So just like we created this file menu, we will have to create theme menu. So I'll simply copy this line, and after this I'll paste here. Okay, I'll change the name here. Instead of file menu, this would be theme menu. Okay, and this theme menu should also be inside my menu, right? And tier of is also false for this one. After that, again, in order to display this, we will have to use my menu dot add cascade, and here we need to pass the label, the text that you want to see there. So I want to see themes, and this should be on which menu? This should be on theme menu, right? This one. So now if I run this, you will see themes, right? But again, no commands are added to this themes menu, so let's add them, and it would be added in the similar way. So I'll copy this line, control C, and here I'll paste it just after this. Okay, and uh, the label would be light theme or just light. Okay, and I won't attach any shortcut key to it. Okay, and then I'll copy this line, and this time it would be dark, like that. Now if I run this, okay, so now if I go to this themes, uh, I'm not able to see it. Why? Okay, so the issue is that I haven't changed the object variable name, so it should be theme menu, right? So in order to place multiple cursors in PyCharm, you just have to press alt key and mouse left button, so you will be able to place multiple cursors at a time, and here you can do the change, right? Theme menu. Now if I run this, So if I click on it, you can see we have two options, light and dark. Okay, but if I show you the original project, if you see this one, these uh, here you can see the check button, right? So this is known as radio button. Okay, so when you click on this dark theme, you will see the tick mark is on dark. Now when I click on this light theme, you can see the tick mark is on light, right? So this is known as radio button. So instead of normally adding the commands, we'll add radio buttons. Okay, so let's see how we can do it. So here instead of add command, what we'll add radio button. So at these two positions, I'll change it to radio button like this. Now if I run this, you will be able to tick, right, any one out of two. Okay, whichever you want to select. But right now nothing is happening. Again the same thing, that we have not added the functionality that will add. Okay, so this themes, I'm only adding two themes. It's up to you, you can add multiple themes, it's up to you. Okay, after this themes, next would be that clear, right, and last would be run. Okay, so it's for clear, it's very simple. Again we just have to create a menu. So I'll copy this line. Okay, and here I'll paste it. I'll change it to clear menu. Okay, and then we just have to add cascade to make it visible on our menu bar, right? So the label this time would be clear. Okay, and let me just run this. Oh, okay, yeah, we can see this, but we are seeing all the commands of this file. Why is that? Why is that? The reason is because here menu, I have passed file menu, right? So that is why we are seeing all the commands of file menu. But instead of file menu, we have to pass clear menu here, this menu, right? So now if I run this, you can see we are getting this clear menu. And just next to it, we have to create run menu. So I'll simply copy these two lines only, and I'll paste here. So instead of clear menu, next would be run menu, right? And here the text or the label would be run, and instead of clear menu, this time this is a run menu, like this. Now if I run this, you can see we are getting all the four menus on our menu bar, right? So I hope till here everything is clear to you. Okay, so after this, if I run my original project to show you what next we need to create. So as you can see, we have done this thing, right? Next is we have to create this text area where we will be writing our code, right? For I, N, J, something like that, right? So we need to create this text area. So let's see how we can create this text area. And to this, with this text area only, we have to attach this scroll bar. Okay, so how it will work, suppose if I type my name here and I move this text a bit down, you can see the scroll bar is active and it is also moving with the text, right? If I scroll up, you won't be able to see the text at the top. Okay, like this. So we'll see how we can attach this scroll bar with this text area. So let's create text area and then we'll see how we can attach it. Okay, so I hope till here everything is clear. Okay, so firstly I'll create a frame. Okay, and inside that frame I will add the text area. Okay, so frame is nothing but a container inside which we can add a label or a text area. Okay, so I'll firstly create a frame. So this would I'll call as edit frame, and to create a frame we just have to use a frame class. Basically we are creating object of the frame class. Okay, and where you want this frame, this should be on your main window, right? On your main window. So the main window name is root, basically, right? The object variable. So here I'll pass root. Okay, so this frame would be now on your root window. Edit frame. Okay, once you create a frame, after that you have to means you have to pack it or uh, place it, okay, or grid it so that it can be seen on your window. Okay, so that it can be seen on your window. Right now if I'll run this code, you won't be able to see any frame. Okay, but once you pack it or place it or grid it, then you will be able to see it. So for now I'm going to use place here. So place is a method which is inside this frame class, so I'm using this object variable dot place method. Okay, and where I want to place this frame, I want to place this frame from the starting position. So x value would be 0, y will also be 0. Okay, then I will add some height to this frame. Okay, because if you won't add height, you won't be able to see this frame. If I run this, you won't be able to see this frame. Okay, so let me just add some height to it. Height equals to 500. Okay, now if I run it, still you are not able to see it. Let me just provide some color to this frame so that you can see it. Okay, so I'll change the background color to black. Let's see if it's visible to you. uh, yeah, it's visible, but I think you cannot see it properly because I have not provided any width to it. So let me add some width also. Width equals to 400 maybe. Let's see. So you can see this is the frame that I have created. Okay, earlier you were not able to see it because I have not provided width to it, or I have not added a background color as black, so it was similar to the background color of our window only, but now you can see it. Okay, so this is the frame, and now inside this frame only I will be adding that text area. Okay, and the scroll bar. Okay, so instead of this width, what I'm going to do, I'm going to provide rel width as 1. What this will do, this will simply take the complete horizontal space like this. Okay, the height is 500, but the width is 1, means it's a rel width, means it will take the complete width or the horizontal space of your window like this. Okay, so instead of black as the background color, I'll change it to white for now. Okay, this is the only change I did. Okay, so this is the edit frame that I created, and inside this frame we will be adding the text area. So for adding the text area, again we have to use only the class. It's very simple in tkinter. So the class name is text. We just have to use this class. We have to create object of it just like we are doing till now. I'll give the object variable name as text area. Okay, so where you want this class, text class, this has to be on this edit frame. Okay, this has to be now on this frame, so I'll pass edit frame. Okay, if you'll pass something else like root, then this text area will be on your main window, means on the root window, and it won't be inside this frame. But I wanted this text area inside this frame, that's why I'm passing edit frame name here. Okay, so if I run this code at this stage, you won't be able to see that text area because we have just created the text area, but we have not placed it or packed it, right? So we need to do that. So I'll use pack method this time. So I'll use this object variable text area dot pack. This will also help in adding this text area on our window. Okay, so here we need to fill this text area on x-axis and the y-axis, right? Means in the complete frame. on this complete edit frame I want to fill it. So instead of writing, so this is the way, means we just have to write both means on the x-axis and the y-axis this text area will be completely filled. Okay, this is the meaning. So if I run it now, you will be able to see the text area, right? You can see this is the text area. Okay, and it is completely filling the x and the y-axis of that frame. Okay, so this is the font. As you can see, this is the styling and this is the font size of the text that we are typing on this text area. But if you want to increase it or if you want to set it uh, according to your choice, so what you can do here inside this text class, you can mention the font for the text that you will type inside it, right? So the first thing is we mentioned the styling. So I'm going to use Arial as the styling. Then the font size, I'll use some variable font size, and I'll declare, means I'll store some font value inside, means size value inside this variable. And then I'll make the text as bold. So I'll use bold value here. Okay, make sure you write this complete font in the form of a tuple. Okay, this is the complete thing, this is the complete font for the text that you will type there. Okay, so let's just assign some value to this variable font size. So at the top I'm going to do that after this import line. So I'll use font size variable and I'll assign 18 value initially. Okay, so the font size is 18. Now if I run this code, you will see the sizes increase, right? And this is nothing but the Arial styling and the text is bold by default. Okay, this is how it is done. Now after that we have to attach a scroll bar to this text area, right? So just before creating this text area here, we can create the scroll bar. Okay, so how we can create a scroll bar? We just have to use the scroll bar class. Basically we just have to create object of this scroll bar class. So I'll use the object variable as scroll bar, right? And this scroll bar will be inside my edit frame, right, inside this frame. Okay, and then what will be the orient of this frame, whether you want this scroll bar means a vertical scroll bar or a horizontal scroll bar, which scroll bar you want, so that we can mention here as orient equals to uh, vertical, right, because we want vertical scroll bar. Okay, after that, once you create this scroll bar, if I run it, you won't be able to see the scroll bar. Again, the reason is same, that we just created the scroll bar but we have not attached it on the screen, on the window, right? We need to place it. So I'll use this scroll bar object variable dot pack method. So here we have used this place method, here I'm using this pack method. Both work similarly. Here in case of place we have to mention x and y position. Okay, in case of pack we just have to mention the side where you want this, either top, bottom, left or right. So it depends what you want to use depending on the situation or depending on the complexity. Okay, so here I just want to pack this scroll bar on the right hand side. Okay, so I'll mention the side as right because I want this scroll bar on the right hand side, and also I want to fill this scroll bar completely on the y-axis. Okay, so now if I run this code, so you can see a scroll bar here. So this scroll bar is completely filling this y-axis, right? Because it is till here, because this is here our frame is completing, right? So that's why this is the complete y-axis for this scroll bar. Okay, and if you are moving this scroll bar, nothing is happening. Suppose if I type some text here and if I try to scroll down, nothing is happening. Okay, because we have not attached this scroll bar with this text area. Okay, so let's do that. First of all, what we have to do, we have to set this scroll bar. So y scroll bar scroll command. So y scroll command equals to scroll bar dot set. So this is how you set the scroll bar with the text area. Okay, now if I run this, you can see now this scroll bar is attached to this text area. Okay, but it won't function with this text area. Like if I write my name and move this name down like this. Okay, this scroll bar is set with this text area, but it if I move this scroll bar up, you can see this text area is not going up, right? What we want that when I scroll up this scroll bar, right, I want to see the upper part of this text area, right? So in order to do that, what we have to do here, we have to use scroll bar object variable dot config. So basically we are configuring the scroll bar, and here what we are going to do, we are going to pass the command. Okay, and what is the command? That we want to see the y view, vertical view, right? Vertical view of text area, right? Like this, and we don't have to add parenthesis here. Okay, so basically what we are doing here, we are uh, configuring this scroll bar. We are passing a command to this scroll bar that we want to see the y view of the text area. Okay, now if I run this, now if I write my name here, if I move it down like this, now if I scroll up, you can see we are able to see the vertical view of our text area. If I go down, you can see my name here, right? I hope this is clear. Like this. Okay, so this is attached. Now let me run my original project once more. So this is my original project. So after creating the text area and adding scroll bar to it, next thing is that we need to create this output area, right, where you will see the output of the code that you will run. And with this also you have to attach the scroll bar, and it will be attached in the similar way only. So let's see. So what we did, we firstly created an edit frame, and on this edit frame we have added the text area and the scroll bar onto it, right? Now we need to create another frame. Okay, and this frame, on this frame we will be adding the output area. Okay, it will be the similar thing only, but since it's a output frame, frame, different thing, so that's why I'm using a different frame here. Okay, so I'll call it output frame, and again I'll be using a frame class, and this frame will also be inside your main window, which is root. Okay, because just after this frame only I'm going to add this new frame, which is output frame. Okay, so that's why I'm adding it on my main window. If I'll add it inside this edit frame, then this output frame will be shown inside this edit frame only. Okay, but I want this output frame just after this edit frame. Okay, so that's why I'm adding root here. Next thing is that we need to place it, right, just like we did here. So what I'll do, I'll use this output frame object variable dot place method, and now where you want to place, so x value will again be 0 only. Okay, but the y value will change. Earlier the y value, as you can see, was 0 here, right? But now I want to place this output frame from 500 distance from the y-axis. Okay, so from top it will be at this position. Okay, this would be 500 from the top, right? So that's why I'm mentioning 500 y value. Okay, and again I want to fill the horizontal uh, space, so I'll use rel width equals to 1. Okay, and the height would be 170. Okay, let's see. So this is our frame. but we are not able to see it because the color is similar to that of window. So we can change the color here, like I can pass yellow as the background color just to check. So you can see this is the output frame. Okay, and on this output frame only we will have to add the output area, which will be nothing but the text area only, and it will be created in the similar way only. And to that text area we will have to attach the scroll bar, just like we added a scroll bar to this text area, right? So what I'll do, I'll simply copy this complete code from here, uh, yeah, this much code, and I'll paste here because everything will be similar only. Okay, so we'll be creating a scroll bar, right? But if you want, you can change the name of the scroll bar, means the object variable, like you can change it to scroll bar 1. It's up to you. Okay, like this. And then instead of text area you can change the object variable to output area, output area. Okay, and instead of edit frame, so this is scroll bar, we will not put it in edit frame. Okay, if you'll put it in edit frame you will see it in edit frame. Okay, so instead of edit frame we want this scroll bar inside our output frame. Okay, this frame, so that's why I'm passing output frame. Everything else will be same, like orient will be vertical only, then we'll pack it on the right hand side and we'll fill y-axis, right? Then the output area will be created with the help of text class only, right? Again, it won't be inside edit frame, it will be inside output frame, right? Font, if you want you can change it, I'll keep it this only, and then we'll set the scroll bar, right? This scroll bar with this output area, and at the end we will simply configure this so that we can see y view, vertical view of our text area when we move the scroll bar, right? This is the thing that we added. Let's run. So you can see this is the text area. Okay, but if you have noticed in our original project, if I run this original project again, you can see here it's written output, so it's clear, right? This is the output portion and this is the editor portion, right? So how we can do it? This is nothing but a label frame. So instead of creating just a frame, okay, we can create a label frame. So the way is by using a label class, label frame class. Okay, and here we also need to mention, uh, let me just remove this background color for now. Okay, and here we'll mention the text that you want to see. So the text I'll add is output. Okay, so now if I run this, yeah, you can see we are getting this output. So this is now a label frame, a frame with a label. So this is the label output. Okay, we can provide some font to this text, we can increase the font size and do all that. So I'll change the styling here, I'll change the styling to Arial. Okay, I'll change the font size to 12 and I'll make the text as bold. Let's see. So this is how it looks. So our GUI part is complete. Okay, so in the next video we will see how we can work on the functionality part. Thank you for watching.